City of Salem, the City Council Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, met in the Council Chamber on Thursday, October 10th, 2024 at 6 p.m. for the purpose of discussing authorizing the mayor to execute the resolution and tax increment exemption agreement between the City of Salem and 38 Norman QOZB LLC. Notice of this meeting was posted on October 5th, 2024 at 10:19 a.m. And joining us this evening from the A&F committee are Councilor Varela, remote, Councilor Jerslow, Councilor Prosnewski, and Councilor Stott. From the Committee of the Whole, we have Councilor Cohen and Councilor Hapworth joining us as well. And yes. Oh, sorry. I had written you down, and also Councilor Marcillo has joined us. And also joining us is Amanda Chincola from Planning, Ryan Wittig from Kinvara, the developer, and also someone else has joined us, if that is Bobby Matthews. Okay, thank you. Bobby Matthews has just joined us as well, who is the tax consultant for the developer. Okay, so the resolution that is in front of us is the same as what we approved last October, but there is a change in the project from a rental development to home ownership. So we are here to reauthorize the mayor to execute the tax increment exemption, the tie, between the City of Salem and Kinvara Capital for 38 Norman Street. And this is for a minimal tie agreement that provides a 10% exemption each year for a period of 5 years. And for clarity, tax exemptions such as this do not apply to the base assessed value of the property. That we continue to collect, so the city does not lose money. It is for the proposed projected value of the property, of the development. The development is a 4-story mixed-use building with commercial space on the first floor and 20 residential units above. 2 of those units will be restricted to households earning 60% or less of the area median income. And the approximate cost of the affordable units will be approximately $147,000 for a 1-bedroom and $176,000 for a 2-bedroom unit. And so these are excellent first-time home buyer opportunities. And the reason, to offer some context, the reason for the change is the increase in interest rates and construction costs that has occurred since a year ago. So the project didn't work financially as rentals now. I'd like to offer one note of interest from my conversations with Ms. Chincola, is that the actual exemption now would go to the prospective homeowners for the first 5 years. The developer sees no benefit from this, except that having the tie agreement in place allows them to apply for HDIP benefits, but the homeowners will benefit from the actual tie. And I'll take comments and questions from the council now. And we have Amanda Chincola from Planning and Ryan Wittig and from the developer, and his tax consultant, as I mentioned, was in attendance, Bobby Matthews, here to answer any questions. And then I'll take any comments from the public. So, listen, thank you all for being here. Any questions from the council? And first, I see that Andy Varela has raised his hand. So, Councilor Varela, can you hear us? And let me unmute TV. Can you hear us? Councilor Varela? Okay, I do have him unmuted. Okay, I'll move on to the other councilors. Let me turn that down so we don't get a lot of background noise. Any questions from the council? Yes, Councilor Jarislaw.
I don't know if you can answer this, Council Merkel, but does the city have to lose money-wise? If do they project that out? Do they have value?
Yes, as I said, the base value is always being collected. This is on, what the prospective growth would be. So I'll ask Ms. Giancola to come up and answer that question as well.
Thank you. Thank you for this question. So as Councilor Merkel had mentioned, the estimated base tax bill stays the same. That's around $19,000, about $20,000 a year. So the city will continue to get those taxes. And then the new value from this development is projected to be around $96,000. That's with the base. So it's an increase of about $77,000. The exemption would exempt 10% of that new 77. So it's about I'd say around $8,000 a year for 5 years that's exempted for the full project for the site. For 5 years from when the project is at 80% occupied. So it ends up being around a $40,000 exemption. But again, it's $70,000 a year in new taxes plus the $20,000 in base taxes.
Thank you. Any further questions, Councilor Jarislaw? Okay, any other councilors? Yeah, Councilor Stott.
Thank you, Chair Merkel. I would just like to state my support for this project, supported the TIF last year when it was in front of us. I think, as Amanda noted last time it was in front of us, these smaller projects are kind of harder to pencil out and get those affordable units. The change from rental to condo, I did definitely have a think of it. I do feel like we have a lot of rental units kind of in flight right now. We have Canal Street, Bertini, hopefully the Crescent Lot, hopefully Commercial Street, a lot going on at the Goodhue Grove area of rental stock being added. I think homeowner opportunities at this price point, I think it was noted as $147,000 for a 1-bedroom and $176,000 for a 2-bedroom. For a homeowner opportunity, that is life-changing for someone. And I think that is an extreme positive public benefit that we can provide for the city with I think, extremely small $40,000 tax exemption. I don't think we're losing that $40,000. I think without doing this, we're losing 2 affordable units possibly, and also the additional revenue of $70,000 a year that we would not be receiving without this project. I did have one question about the change from this year to last year and why there's the delay. And I'm assuming it was penciled out before it was in front of us last year, if there was any additional insight there.
So Merkel, is it okay if I defer to the developer?
Yes, thank you. That would be great.
Hello, Ryan Wittig, Kinvara Capital. So when we came back in front of the council last year, the numbers were tight. We were really squeaking by the skin of our teeth through. And after we got the approval, we went out to the market to try to get financing. And we've just not been able to find financing that can approve based on rentals right now. Also, part of our assumption was with that TIE and HDIP funding in place, we would be able to get some type of bridge funding for our HDIP money, because the HDIP is what makes this project work. And basically, we're facing a $2 million gap in our feasibility of this right now, which the HDIP fills, and there's nobody that can give us that bridge financing at a reasonable rate. Mass Development did theoretically have a bridge program, but they do not have money to lend out on that right now. So they were not able to help us with that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any other questions from the council? I'll let the record show that Councilor Varela hasn't joined us in person. Any other questions? Okay. Great. Thank you. Okay, I don't see anyone in person. Let me just check to see if there's any attendees with a raised hand here. Which I don't see. Okay, thank you, everyone. Would anyone like to make a motion from the committee? Councillor Stott?
Thank you, Chair Merkel. I'd like to make a motion to recommend that we adopt the resolution that reauthorizes the city to execute a tax increment exemption agreement between the City of Salem and 38 Norman QOZB LLC, an affiliate of Canberra Capital, herein referred to as Canarva, due to a change in the project from a rental development to a home ownership one. Just read that first line there.
Second.
Thank you. So Councillor Stott motions to adopt the resolution to reauthorize the mayor to execute the tie agreement with the 38 Norman QOZB LLC with the change in the backup documentation from rentals to home ownership, seconded by Councillor Prosnewski. I will take this as a roll call vote. Councillor Prosnewski?
Yes.
Councillor Cherslow?
Yes.
Councillor Stott?
Yes.
Councillor Varela?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. So this will move up to the full council with a 5-0 positive recommendation for a motion as stated. Thank you. Yes, Councillor Varela?
Motion to adjourn.
Yes, thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you, everyone.